Welcome to Road to Edo 2024 on ITV. I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. In today's program, our guest is the NNPP candidate for Edo State Governorship election, talking about Pastor Dr. Azemhe Azena, the very, very son of the Oracle. And it's quite interesting to see this happen. Quite a lot of interesting conversations around this man. But let's begin from the basics. You are a pastor, and I know that the task of pastoring is quite challenging. Not that it's difficult, challenging because it comes with its own peculiarities and all of that. So at what point did this vision of aspiring to become Edo State Governor come into reality?
Oh, thank you very much, my viewers and my honorable pastor, as I will call you.
Thank you.
I am a man who so much believes on humanity, the better life for humanity. Even why I was pastoring, okay, even until now, not let me say why I was pastoring. I believe that everyone should have a better life. But I discovered that the more I pray for the betterment of Edo State and Nigeria in general, it looks as if things are getting worse. So I sat down and I asked myself a question: what can I do for Edo State, for Nigeria to be better? Should I continue prayers? Should I fast? Should I go to mountain? And I discovered all these are good, but the best out of them all is what I made up my mind to do now. Prayer has never changed our politicians. Prayers have never changed our economy. Prayer has never changed Nigeria. If there is any place we pray, it's Nigeria.
We're good at praying.
We are good at praying. I decided to act, because faith without works is dead. So what brought me just 2 years ago, I sat down, I asked myself a question: how long will I keep on praying? I've been a pastor of between 18 to 20 years. And prayers have not changed anything. Prayer works, but we are getting it wrongly. And I decided to take a step to see how we can act to better the people of Edo State and Nigeria in general. So it's just about 2 years ago I took this decision.
Okay. In that direction, what are the key areas you want to bring a different narrative to in terms of impact of governance? What's the core of your agenda? What's the core of your manifesto? Do you have a manifesto?
Yes, I have a manifesto, and it's in line with my party manifesto. There is a great, huge benefiting manifesto of NNPP. When you look at the logo of NNPP, you will see a map of Nigeria with a basket with fruits. So the first thing I'm concerned about, why I joined NNPP, is that I see hunger in the land. And this thing is increasing. If there is anybody who have access to the people to know if they are hungry, to know if they are well, to know if they are doing well, it should be a pastor. I see them minimum of twice in a week, 3 times, 4 times, as the case may be. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to bring food to the table of the common man. I want to provide, make a provision. I want to deal with hunger. I want to deal with scarcity of food, because I've tried to do it in a small way. Like what people call palliative, I don't believe in that. What is the reason, or what are the reasons why we are having scarcity of food in Nigeria and in Edo State in particular? First and foremost, the population of Edo State is increasing, not less than 5 million. And those who are now farmers are decreasing. So those who does production for people are decreasing, and those who they are preparing food for are increasing. So you expect scarcity of food. So what we are going to do differently as a party, as a candidate, is that we are going to make a provision whereby people go back to farm. It's not going to be our manual farming. It's going to be a mechanized farming. And how are we going to do that? The moment we are trying to do that, we are tackling insecurity problem. Because one of the reasons why our people are no longer going to fight is that because there are kidnappers, there are armed robbers, there are different kinds of crime on the way to farm and even in the forest. Okay. So we are going to make provision to make sure those people cleared out of the forest, and we have to encourage the farmers. We give 0% loan to the farmer to go back to farm. And sir, have you discovered that 90% of our consumable food are coming from the north? The cow, the goat, the bees, the yam, the rice, everything is coming. And look at the road. So that has added to the cost of goods. So I'm not going to say it is federal road, because there is no way everything can be produced in Edo. Yeah. So I'm going to make sure that I look into the road from Benin to Okene, because that is where the problem lies. Whether it's federal, it doesn't concern me, because what happened there, that road contributes, if not over 50% economy to Edo State. So I will check the value of the economy and the effect of that road not be repaired. Not who holds the road, whether it's exclusive lease, whether concurrent lease, I'm not bothered. Okay. But the lives that it will affect. So I will do that road to make sure the cost of bringing food will be reduced.
You've just highlighted the thematic areas of your government if you succeed come September 21st. You know that today, one of the most critical challenges in the world is the issue of revenue. What structures and strategies are you going to put in place to increase the revenue of the state to be able to achieve some of these lofty things that you want to do?
The problem is not revenue, sir. We have corruption. There's no problem of revenue. If you go back to our history, how much were we generating where development was rapid in our country? Then those who were stealing were few. But now we have those stealing more than what is coming in. What do you expect? When somebody can embezzle a whole allocation of money. That's not it. The first solution to generate money is that I will not steal. If I cannot steal and my cabinet will not steal, there will be money. That is the first way to it. Because what we are getting now, you see, when I see our citizens, people of Edo State, are clapping for people collecting their 10,000 naira and 5,000 naira now. That is, they are going to steal the money to recover it. This is the problem we are having. You are already eating your tomorrow. So people like us that doesn't have such money now, we are not giving such money because we are not expecting to steal when we get there. I have made up my mind. So one of the ways to get the revenue is that we will not steal. Number one. Number two, you increase production when you want to get revenue, not that you double taxation. In economy, we are taught in school that when you want to get more of revenue, you increase production. Let me ask you, what is Edo State producing now as a state? Can you remember in 80s, in early 90s, we were producing better cement factory was there, we were producing cement. Revenue was coming from there. Can you remember flour mill at Ewu? We were producing. Can you remember Bedeburi? So when all this, can you remember Edo line? Can you remember the pharmaceutical whatsoever in Benin and many others? They are all dead. That is where we have this problem. So if we want to increase revenue, let's capitalize on what can Edo government, not private individual. What can we produce in Edo that people will come and export out of this place?
Okay. There's been talks about the fact that you've never been in government in terms of...
I've been in government. Okay. I've not been...
Okay, let me get through with the question. That you've never been in government.
Yeah.
You have been a pastor for between 18 and 20 years, like you mentioned earlier. That you don't have the experience to function at the level of a state chief executive. What with the fact that the church system is more autocratic and the governmental system is democratic? How do you think you'll be able to navigate that against the background that in the democratic system, the traditional politicians always see others coming in as threats, as none of their own? So how are you going to navigate your path and have a stable government?
When you say I've not been in government, it depends how you define government. Because the scripture said that the government shall be upon his shoulder. So when he was talking to Jesus Christ, he said the government, the man coming, government shall be upon his shoulder. The government, we have different kinds of government. So you don't mention the democratic government. We have all forms of government. So I've been in government. So you may say I've not been in the democratic government. So I think I've been in government. Now, first and foremost, what it requires to lead people is leadership skill, not political experience. Politicians have actually failed. Technocrats have failed. We are looking for born leaders. What it takes to lead is not, even the people that are contesting the major 3, 4 political parties, have they been there before? They have not been there before. But I can tell you, if there is anybody who have led people, when it comes to leadership, among all, I am the one. I have led over 130 churches. Let me just stop for the churches, then I will go to the other secular life. As I'm talking to you now, I have over 136 churches under me. I have over 29 countries that I supervise as a coordinator. That is religion. When I was in school, I was a pure politician when it comes to school politics. And this man you are seeing now, I was the vice chairman of the Okada rider in EDO State, 1999 to 2000.
That's an association. And school politics is different from governance.
You
just mentioned about 5 million people in EDO State.
Allow me go. Every one of them, whether you talk about the ruling party in the state, that man has never led. He's leading industry and whatsoever. Banks and all that. The second man, the one in the federal, I don't want to mention their political party because they didn't pay for this program. So that has not been a leader in anywhere. I've been a community leader. Measure the one that is Papa Mama. He has just been on the legal aspect. If there is any man who have tested true leadership of leading thousands of people, whether religion or whatsoever, I should be the one. And what matters is not democratic experience or political experience. What we are saying is we are looking for born true leaders who can feel the pulse of the people, that they are hungry, who will know that no matter the money you collected, you will die and leave them. That is what we are talking. Those who still have conscience that even though you are buying cars and aircrafts, you will leave them one day. It is the life you have affected that will speak for you. That's what we are talking about. Are we talking about the politicians who brought us here? Were they not experienced? Permit me to borrow from Adams Oluyoshomole. When he came to lead Edo State, he was never, apart from being NSC, he has never been a councillor, he has never been a local government chairman, he has never, and his first tenure, you can agree with me that he did well, even though not perfectly. I can tell you several leaders who led that were never in anywhere democratic in nature, but what kept them was true leadership. And that is who I am. I have led, I am a man who understood what it takes to lead people.
All right.
So that's what it takes.
All right, thank you very much. If you just join us, it's still Road to Edo 2024. It's a special program designed for candidates in the Edo State governorship election to come forth and showcase themselves. We've had the opportunity and privilege of speaking to other candidates on this platform, or even their representatives, except one. We'll talk about that when we return, and we'll be asking more questions to some of the thematic areas, key areas of governance that Dr. Azemhe Azena will be bringing his wealth of experience and knowledge to bear to make a difference. In governance, you have health sector, you have infrastructural sector, you have security, you have education. What's the main focus of your party in terms of the agenda and manifesto as far as this election is concerned?
Okay, education is one of them. That is why our slogan, when you say NNPP, we say New Nigeria. When you say New Nigeria, we say education for all. That means we want to bring free education back to the country. It has partially started in Kano. So, because when you train people, you have solved several problems. You have saved the society from major problems. So, in our manifesto, we are giving free education for primary to secondary. That is what we believe. And going to state-owned tertiary institutions, we are bringing down the school fees where it is now. We are bringing down with 70% reduction. We have to go back to the days of Abu Salih, where commoners can go to the university and graduate. And those who enjoy that benefit are the ones killing us today.
So how do you intend to make up for that deficit?
Definitely, sir. It was done before now. How was it done? That is what you have to go for investigation. If it has not been done, you say, oh, this is new. It has been done. What happened is that, let me talk about Abu Salih University. There's what they call subvention. Subvention is what government gives to school to make sure that they're able to take care of their expenses. This present government have stopped it. And that is why they increase the school fees so that it does not look like a private to sustain themselves. So if there is no subvention, the only way to do it is to give them subvention. The last time I checked how much they spend in 1 month in AAU, it's about 1 billion to cover the expenses of AAU. 1 billion. You can check. Almost 1 billion the last time I checked. So if you give them subvention, then augment it with the school fees they collect, the school fees will fall. But when you now say you are not giving them, run the school with what you generate. That is where they put gun on students' neck now to pay those school fees.
But quality education is not free, even globally.
Even though it's not free, it doesn't mean someone should die before you graduate. It doesn't mean that the poor man should not have access to read Mercy. Mercy now is about 600,000 to 700,000 in AAU. Law is around 600,000. So you are telling us now, if we don't correct this mess, that in the next few years to come, poor man child can no longer be a lawyer. It's only going to make for the rich. That the poor man child or children cannot be a doctor. It's going to be for the rich alone. And see, any society, let me say this to everyone that cares to listen. No matter how you are rich, no matter how you are well to do, and your children are well to do, so long the poor man children are not well to do, your children are not saved. Because the poor man children neglected now may be the armed robber that will lay your children on the road tomorrow and shoot one of them. There's a policy in political science, when I read political science. No country is safe until all countries are safe. No man is rich, no man is protected until every man there can feed, till every man there can have a house. That is only where you say, forget about your face, that you are first around your house. Forget about your security. If anybody is useless, he cannot access education, such a person can come after you tomorrow. And then you know that your bulletproof door is just like a carton.
The feeling is that you're very popular in Benin City. How are you dealing with that in making impact in this election?
By God's grace, before politics, I have been someone who have been attending to people. I've been doing free medical check-up, distribution of drugs, treatment in the past 12 years. I have been into security, doing renunciation, people dropping gun and all that. All this have been going on not because of politics. Now politics has come. A lot of people are excited that if they can just allow Pastor Azemhe to come aboard, we get calls every day from different worlds. Despite my political party is very young, but the man spearheading the party here, the arrowhead, is not a young man. So when I keep on talking to people, don't look at my political party. People don't talk about party any longer, but talk about the individual. This is a man who have lived with you. I've lived in Benin for 14 years. And since I was born, in the past 45 years, I have been living in Edo. I've never lived anywhere else. My children are in Edo State. My wife is in Edo State. My business is in Edo State. My church is in Edo State. So I believe so much in Edo State. And it is time for Edo State to join hands with me so that we can take Edo State from the hands of strangers.
This is limited to Benin City. Can
Not
you say
Benin
this?
City in alone, sir. I have a house in Ekpoma. I live there. I just came out from Ekpoma today. I'm the only one that lived concurrently in the 3 senatorial zone. There's no candidate that would try that. My house has been in Ekpoma for 10 to 12 years. And then I've been living there. And I have a business in Ekpoma, which is Edo Central. I am from Edo North. I was schooled there, born and brought up there, have a house there, have a business there. I'm married from Benin. I have a house here, stay here, and I'm living here. So show me any candidates who have such history.
So talk to us quickly about your health initiative by way of agenda and manifesto.
My health, the health. Yes. Okay, when it comes to health, 3 cardinal points I just discovered. We are going to grant antenatal free for all pregnant women. Write it down. And all older citizens, those who have served this state, who have retired, are going to have access to free health care center because they have paid their dues. Now, 3 things I'm going to do. We are over 5 million people, and we have just about 200 doctors employed by the state. We are going to increase the employment of doctors to make sure they can serve the people of Edo State. 2, we are going to renovate all the health care centers spread around the 192 wards to make sure every ward is having standard, affordable, accessible health care center. We visit the general hospitals. And how am I going to do all those things? It's going to be with partnership. When I mean partnership, not the other partnership you hear, where it will be more expensive. Are you aware that when respected Matokpewolo built an hospital and donated, there are people like him in Edo and even outside Edo that can come and do such a thing if you can encourage them. Since that man did that for Edo State, what has it been done? What have that been done to? Has it been honored? Has it been recognized? Can I talk about well-respected man that holds this place? Do you know how many times he has contributed to the society? Has he been honored? Has he been? So when we want to bring people in, we are not going to depend on allocation and generating of revenue. We are going to check the people of Edo State, who have Edo State people in mind, and partner with them. Let them use their private money, even tie road, private money. And people have tie road also, I can tell you.
Okay. Now, quickly talk to us. There's been 2 opinion polls that have been published recently.
Okay.
And your party didn't even come up in those opinion polls.
That is
first
propaganda.
one and the second opinion polls. The first one rated the PDP first, the APC second, and then the Labour Party third. Your former party, by the way. Yeah. And the second opinion poll followed that pattern. Are you not bothered by what is coming out from these opinion polls?
That is propaganda. That is a way of campaigning. It's somebody that sat down and just came out with that. Let's wait for the election. You don't put don't put the basket before the cat, or you don't put the cat before the basket. Let us all wait. Opinion poll, somebody can sit in his room, design opinion poll, and say it's a way of campaigning. So the first, if I'm even the last now, will be happy because the scripture will manifest itself. The first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. So anywhere you put me now, don't worry. When the time comes, we'll not know who have the people in mind.
Okay, so if you don't win this election, will you accept?
I will win the election. So let me not even think otherwise.
What are your convictions?
I'm convinced because the people love me. The INEC will do the best. They will do their best to make sure the right thing is done. I can't be negative. I'll win the election. And if you ask me if I don't win the election, what will I do? The only answer, I will win the election. And the people of Edo State so much believe that there should be a change because other political party has caused them pain. They also believe that we should get somebody who lived with us, who is an homeboy. My name is homeboy. I live with them. And that is what they are clamoring for. I don't have the money like others, but I have the name more than others.
Okay, quickly talk to us. Debate is key, is a key component of democracy. Yeah. Are you up for the ITV and radio debate on the 13th of September?
Call me anytime. I'm very, very ready. I'm not shy. I'm not afraid. I don't talk from paper. I talk from my head. I am a talkative. My profession, being a pastor, you should know I should know how to talk. 2, I read mass communication. I should know how to talk. 3, I'm a man of experience. And 4, sir, I have wisdom. Even though you don't know it, at time goes so you know. I'm not afraid.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking with the NNPP candidate for Edo State governorship election, Dr. Azemhe Azena, sharing his thoughts, his views, his perspectives, his vision, his manifesto, and his agenda for Edo people if elected come September 21st, 2024. He has also made a pledge to be available for the ITV and radio political debate bid for 13th of September. Also using this platform to reach out to other candidates to make themselves available. One of the best ways you can engage the people is to use platforms of this magnitude because you can actually reach millions of people at the same time, far more than what you get from campaign rallies and what have you. I mean, if people have a particular impression about you for such a long time, the only way you can actually erase that impression is to prove them wrong. And that's why we're calling out to candidates to take advantage of this platform. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. And I would like to tell my viewers, please remember the logo of my party. You will not see Pastor Azemhe, you will not see NPP, but you will see a map of Nigeria with a basket carrying fruit. That is where you are going to vote for. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. Do have a great day ahead. Bye for now.